All right,
Showbone said,
game
hey, you might
11.
be ahead of
We
us
are
on the
watching
leaderboard, but
Peterbot
we know who's the
Rituals
king.
and Cold's team
Peterbot Cold and Ritual, we just tuned in.
here.
6 eliminations. That one's gotta feel good. Coming all the way over from NA to the global stage. Kind of that back and forth that happens between those two trios. That one's gotta feel good, but I can't lie, Taco, right? Ritual with 4 eliminations himself, showing what a year's worth of mechanical training can really do on the big stage.
We all witnessed the Richie 1v3s throughout the divisional cups, Vivian, and even in the majors, Ritual was putting up quite a stellar performance, but now things are gonna fall directly into the line of sight here for PH, Zen, Phaser, and King. They've already spotted out 2 other teams based on mountains right next to us.
They're just
These next
moving
couple
in
of
the
rotates
oh wait, no,
could be
they're
rather
underground.
difficult, but
Oh my
Kanata,
God, they're just
Rapid,
moving
and
in the
Bolts,
open.
they're still looking
What
to
are they
press forward.
doing?
They're actually trying to do it from underneath. They're hoping that they can just collect whatever leftover hard mats they can find.
With a sold-out
Kanata
crowd, you know
farming.
they're going for M8. You know they're
Looks like
going for
Peterbot's
Havoc.
team's
So
coming
everybody
over.
at home, watching on Twitch, watching online, you need to give your energy to NA if you want to see a miracle comeback, because second, third, fourth place, all of them down. Fifth place, that's Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, and a chance to close the gap. Especially more so if they can figure out a way to take down Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash. But we're now into the top 17. This is where placement points are going to come into play, and they're going to start moving quickly.
Vivid, how do you feel seeing this rotation by Savage, Reason, and Chap? They looked relatively healthy, but they're not the only ones. Other teams in EU definitely making their presence known.
Yeah, the chase is on right now for a couple of our teams,
Now,
namely
Luca's team
Malabuka, Walks,
doing
and
good,
Ping. The
404
aggression
points.
early, they want to go ahead and catch up to Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts, right? That's the only team that is currently alive that is ahead of them right
This
now.
guy
And as
jumping,
I say,
Ted.
that pressure starts to rain in.
Why does this look like one of the practice lobbies right now, though? Down to our last 17 teams and only 6 zones. Ping, Walks, Malabuka. They're trying to see if they can bring down Agers and Acorn with it. Pollo's already been claimed. Acorn, Agers just trying to create a little bit of space, but they know this might be a fight that they can't avoid any longer. They're gonna have to try and take a crash pad out of here, but Malabuka, Walks, and Ping, they are fully wary of what lies ahead.
Yeah, and you can see in the mini-map, Acorn, Agers, they immediately rotated out with or without the reboot card. A couple more teams rotating in and around this
they're
path for
rotating
Pink
behind.
Box and Malabuka. Could be opportunities for elims or more damage, but they see that coming. They want to continue to rotate in. Right next to them, Queasy, Merstash, Swizzy, all trying to get this elevation differential for this next zone.
But just above them on the other side of this mountain face, Kanata, Rapid, Bolts, they see the crash pad. Merstash, he's been clipped. Merstash is brought down. Swizzy also incredibly low. They're going to be forced to drop all the way down. That height security that they were once hoping for has been completely lost here. Queasy, the healthiest member of his team, but he's got nobody next to him. He can't get close to Swizzy.
And that's that investment. What goes around comes around. If you want to sit in storm and fight between first and second place,
Where's
you want
he?
that
1
one to be
HP
drawn out.
getting out of
You
the
want to
zone.
invest everything you have into it. Once you realize that you got to make one of these rotations all the way up the mountain, all of these aimers kind of paying attention to you, you realize quickly you don't have what it takes to survive in this lobby.
Oh my, second, third, and fourth. They talked about them being out. And now fifth place has just lost their IGL and Rapid, and it's Queasy and Swizzy that are doing the majority of that damage as they try to make their way into the zone.
But Queasy can't get down. He has no mats. They were all on Swizzy and Merstash. They hadn't had a chance to actually drop any of their materials. He does see a crash pad. He's trying to bring Swizzy up with him. And now Swizzy manages to connect. What a brilliant play from Queasy. Most players would have probably
That's
taken that for
insane.
themselves, but he said, nah, you're coming back up here with me.
That's just a shine. That's just a glimpse. That is 7,000 IQ and the selfless plays and why we call him one of the greatest IGL. No, forget that. That's why we call him one of the greatest Fortnite players in the history of the game. And he's looking to prove it. If he could just close out these last 2 games, even with the loss of our stats, there's still 1,100 damage above the threshold
Easy.
as they land a couple more shots.
Landing
now
some
1,200
shots.
and continuously rolling.
But this is a really healthy trio. Cooper, Curly, Reed. I don't know that that's what Queasy's really looking to chase up. He's not trying to bark up the wrong tree here after all. They've got to be a little bit more reserved here, Vivid.
Yeah,
they don't want to
100%. They're gonna
overextend
get
their welcome.
destroyed if
I
not.
mean, they're in the mix of things right now. They've gotten a couple of shots on a couple of trios right there. Maybe they can make something happen. As I say that, Queasy actually gets knocked.
Queasy's
Now
dead.
It's gonna be all left
And
with
Swizzy's also
gets
dead.
knocked down. First, second, third, fourth, all out of the competition.
They at least had some
Peterbot's
eliminations to go
team's
with it,
all
but will
alive.
it really be
Let's hope we
enough?
see some good
The
plays from
leaderboard
them.
We'll have to wait and
coming
tell a
up
different
here.
story here. Malabuka, Wax and Ping, though, fighting a battle of their own. They're now looking to see if they can overthrow the high ground. I drop Cammy.
So at the end of this game, I am going to make a prediction on who I think is going to win.
Malabuka, Wax, now having to head towards the forefront. They're looking back. They're trying to provide some support. They have a slight
Sad.
placement on this side of the mountain, and they are looking down, and guess who's underneath them?
Heroes
Peter
got high ground. Heroes
Cold,
got high ground.
Ritual, Mr.
good.
Savage, Captain Reason, so many teams crashing onto this mountain face.
A good chunk of the
mountain
top
is
10
hard.
overall back into
You
the
gotta
lobby.
go up the
Even our
mountain
fifth place
and
team on
wow,
that leaderboard
people
missing a
are
player, and one of the more
lasering you.
important ones into Rapid. As
Like, that's
Phaser,
kinda
Pids in,
crazy.
King, they know they're not in zone just yet. In fact, they might have one of the farthest pulls in the entirety of the lobby. With Aspect, Tinka, Kazi in their path, they want to continue to roll through. Even with the med kits, even with the minis, they realize they are lacking materials and a ton of them.
Paying attention to
Peter
the
Bot's
leaderboard
team
of the
fighting
last
now,
global
Luka.
championship. No minor region teams in the top 10. King, Phaser, PHN, they're trying to make that push right now.
Bolt's
We want to talk about a
team,
push.
all
Taco
dead
Bolts
except for
towards
him.
the bottom of the mountain. No mats to work with. Top 5 as it currently stands. The push is on.
What a genius, though. Bolts recognizing that the zone's going to pull over this Big Ben tunnel face. He's going to take a little bit of a harbor safety inside. But King, he's got literally 1 HP and a dream. The small shield potion, he's managed to get it off. But Phaser, only 2 builds remain. He can't keep continuing to hold that leverage over King's head. Instead, Phaser holding on for dear life. But he needs the heal. He
Ah,
won't get the
Phaser's
chance.
dead.
He's going to be eaten alive by the lobby.
They're just
He's
raining
dropped the
down.
crash pad, but
Aw.
instead he goes straight up and back to the lobby with that elimination. That one's going to hurt, but a lot of those rank ups coming in, and that's an A rank upgrade. That could be fruitful for Bolts underneath, who has to start to think, who has to start to act quick because he has only 8 builds, no heals in his loadout, and no mobility on top of that as we're going high up the
Hopefully
mountain.
we get some big
Bolts doesn't
plays
even
from
get a
Peter
chance
Bot.
really to try, stop, and check. He's just making sure that he stays concealed towards that backside of zone. But on the high ground,
Adapter,
Bard,
gang
Hero,
teams.
FKS, they've
Ritual,
actually
Peter Bot,
managed to
Cold team
overtake
in the
one
fight.
of the best positions that we've seen them in all weekend long.
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, they don't want to walk away from this competition without at least putting some sort of a staple into it. They want to show everybody that, hey, listen, we had a tough time off spawn, but when we make it to the end game, we can put on a show.
Yeah, Bolts just went down off the side of that mountain. Their run in this game has come to an end. Did they get enough to move into the
Peter
top
Bot
four? But
fighting
Peter Bot now
alone.
battling for it all, and he is by himself. Cold and Ritual are all down below, and he's done it. He's gotten the high ground. He's gotten an elimination. Here he is. He's finally woken up from his slumber, and he's continuing to pressure down and stealing the high ground away. He joins Ritual and Cold on the other side and takes what's theirs.
Yesterday, Peterbot said, it's my day off, but today, it's a whole new beast coming alive here in the final hour.
Peterbot
FKS going to be taken out by
ripping
Ritual.
through people. This
Aspect
is
as
what
well,
who Peterbot
claiming
really
that
is.
series of eliminations, but Cold, Peterbot, and Ritual, they're now kings of the mountain face, and they might be kings of this lobby if everyone else isn't careful.
There's still more than half of the placement points still available in this lobby, and I think Reason knows it. That's why he's moving to the outside of the zone. He saw 3 different med kits, a replenished amount of materials, and this could be the difference maker in terms of point differential as that leaderboard goes down below. Malabuka, he's struggling all around, rejoins his team. The splashes are coming out, but they're in the backside of the zone. They're sacrificing HP to try to catch any team off guard.
It's because of the way that the zone is pulled over this slight bridge of elevation, though. Malabuka, Ping, they don't have a whole lot of builds. Malabuka is going to be forced to try and play heals, try and acquire whatever placement points are
Malabuka's
possible.
deep
The
in
siphon
low
materials
storm.
going to give him a little bit of extra time and the 2 med kits, but still, he has to make his way forward, and he's going to have to crash directly into Reed Cooper and Curly. But the moment they head down, they're taken out by by Peterbot.
Reed just getting targeted from up above.
Oh, they're
He
coming.
loses all of
Striker
his
coming
materials,
up.
has
Ritual
no other
falling.
choice, but another team contests towards the
Cold.
high ground. Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot. They're forced scrambling around, figuring out a way to reunite. The Flowberry Fizz does come out. That's Tisco. That's Striker. That's Kadu.
Cold just getting stuff.
Best, but it's only for so long. Revenge comes in, and it comes in quick. Cold gets it down onto one. No Siphon just yet. He needs to buy time. No extra build, and he's facing Reason on the other side. But high ground disrupts the flow. Down they go. 3v3 here for the end game. Kami, Hadi, that's relatively loose because
3v3,
Eyedrop is
nice.
down. Kadu, Striker, and Tisco, they could take it all.
And
Tisco
this
might
is what
take it.
the international scene has needed all weekend long, but no!
Cammy low, Cammy dead.
Cammy's not gonna be able to make it through. It's only Tisco, Striker, and Kadu left to deal with Hadi. But Ari will
And-
force the charge forward. He tries to head towards the high ground, but he just doesn't have the HP. Tisco just
Is
needs one
dead.
more shot, and he finds it. That's gonna be the first victory.
We have a
for
winner.
this
Striker's
weekend
team.
for the international scene.
The Brazilian region is
Brazil
on
region.
top. They've showed up. They've reached the top 10 in
Take
the
they
leaderboard. with a
win
whole
here.
nother trio,
So
and this is
let's
their
look
chance to
at the
shine bright.
leaderboard.
Frankie, when
Alright, our leaderboard is in 10th place Veno's team with 379 points. In 9th place Pablo's team with 399 points. 8th place Mr. Savage's team with 403 points. Cammy's team, they didn't just win, with 434 points. 6th place Malabuka moving up one, got 441 points. In 5th place Rapids team still there with 500 points. Seti's team in 4th with 506 points. Just right above them with 512 points in 3rd place, Dardamus's team. And then we got Pixie's team in 2nd with 606 points. And Swizzy, Murstache, and Queasy still in 1st with 656 points. Now, I said that I was going to do a prediction for who I think is going to win. And I think if Queasy, Murstache, and Swizzy do not die earlier like they did last game, I think they will be the ones to win it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the last game.